Greetings, good people. All right, it's time to get into this City Girls Breakfast Club interview. This is a recap. All right, I thought that this was a very, very, very interesting, a good interview. Probably one of the better interviews that the Breakfast Club has had in a very long, long time. All right, so the rap duo JT and Young Miami, aka Kareisha, they stopped by the Breakfast Club. They stopped by to promote their new album, which a lot of people didn't even know dropped. Okay. They talked about management not having any. They addressed their low album sales and all of the rumors circulating on the internet. All right. Now, what I liked the most, one of the things that I like the most about this interview is that right out the gate, before they get into any industry business talk, Kareisha addressed Charlemagne about him saying that she did not deserve her BET award for her podcast, Kareisha Please. And I love the way that she handled it. I love what she had to say. She stated that that was unfair, and she did not like the fact that Charlemagne said that because she is a hardworking woman, a hardworking black woman. She says that she oftentimes spends time away from her children. She takes into consideration, pretty much, these are my words, not, in a nutshell, summarizing. She takes into consideration who she has on because she wants to have a conversation with people. It's not about like gossiping or exposing anyone. And I know that a lot of her questions, her interview style is pretty much direct and straightforward. But Kareisha Please is also fun, and she makes the guests feel comfortable. Okay. She mentioned that there was a Suki Hana interview that probably won't see the light of day because both of them got very, very drunk. Now, someone who was trying to like expose someone or didn't care about anyone's image or feelings would have put out that interview. All right. And she didn't. She said that she doesn't think that that interview should come out. Ultimately, I don't think she has control over what interviews drop, but she could have put that interview out, embarrassed herself and Suki Hana, and she didn't. So that says a lot. Not everybody is willing to go that route. Charlemagne's point of view was the frequency at which she puts the interviews out. She's not consistent, according to Charlemagne. She doesn't put out interviews every day. But see, I'm more of a quality over quantity type of person. And Young Miami says, like, she wants to let the interview breathe. Like, let people look forward to, anticipating or anticipate her next interview. I agree with that. Not to mention, Young Miami is busy. There's other things that she's doing. She's one half of the City Girls, so I'm pretty sure they were working on stuff while she was working on this. She has other business ventures that she's dipping her toe into. She's in her acting bag. She's a businesswoman. She has merch, all this stuff. And I personally don't want to see a Kareisha Please every week or every 5 days a week. It's not her format of her show is not like the Breakfast Club, right? So I think that she's doing it well. I think she's doing it right. JT basically said that that's not like her thing. She understands that they both have their own lanes. But I do like that she calls Charlemagne out on that, and I gave commentary on it previously. Make sure you check out that video. That Charlemagne looked like an idiot. Him as a black man on a major platform saying that another black person doesn't deserve an award. And what is it that Kareisha is doing to harm anyone? She's not on her platform saying that the Breakfast Club is trash and no one watches anymore. You know what I mean? That could be her opinion. And her ratings are low and she gets more views than the Breakfast Club does. She could flex and say that, but why would she? So I like the fact that she basically addressed that and let Charlemagne know. So she did have an attitude, rightfully so. And I like the way that she handled that. And Charlemagne claims that he was just salty because who was it? $1 million worth of game should have won. And she said, well, if you're salty about that, then you should just say that, And then Charlemagne went into saying, when he was giving his critique about that weeks ago, he basically said that the reason why she got the award is because Diddy probably bought it, and I thought that was unfair. I thought that was unfair and that was mean. So I like the way that she handled that. They did confirm, the City Girls confirmed that they are not breaking up. And I am so glad that JT said this because, some people are so fickle. I remember a time where where a lot of people on social media were telling Young Miami to break away from JT because JT got a nasty attitude and they can't stand JT and JT is this and JT is that. Now it's JT break away from Young Miami. She ain't really interested in music. She doesn't want to do music anymore. You're a better rapper than her. And JT last week or so posted on her Twitter that people are like fickle and wishy-washy. Like, y'all turn on me in a minute. Y'all turn on anyone in a minute. I'm glad that she understands that, because the very same people who are hoping that they break up and hope that JT goes solo are the very ones that are not going to support her. And they're going to be right there ready to criticize how her projects, quote unquote, flop. Just like everyone is criticizing the low album sales from their recent project, Raw. And they go into explaining a little bit about why, the album sales are low, right? So real quick, now you guys got to listen because I am going to be playing this quite fast, all right? So take a listen to what it is that JT and Young Miami had to say regarding their low album sales, all right? I'd like to hear it. Here you go.
Time.
Does the conversation that people are having about like first week sales, do y'all care about stuff like that, or do y'all like we don't?
I mean, I care. Like, I think that of course, like nobody want to see that online about themselves, and I feel like at the same time you get what you put in and shit. Like, I feel like collectively we didn't do what we had to do to promote the album.
I was gonna say
I don't even know what that means anymore because I don't see record labels.
I really didn't know the album came out last week until you told me.
How would you?
Usually
yeah, it wasn't a lot of. It wasn't a
I
lot
feel like this
of.
interview should have been last week to promote the album.
Yeah, and I said that, but they was like when we asked about like coming to the Breakfast Club before, they said that like, oh, when we come, it's gonna drop people out. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but what I could say is you get in what you put out. Like, if you don't go hard with promoting your shit and putting it in people's face, like, of course it's gonna miss people, and I feel like it missed a lot of people. And then by the time people discovered it, it was discovered as a joke. Like, a lot of people found out through our record sales because that was probably the most viral thing. Like,
I found out because of the tweet, the real asshole tweet. I was like, oh shit.
See, that was good marketing.
Yeah, that was good marketing. I said it.
That was good. Got a lot of people talking.
And I didn't even know the Usher song was y'all single. I thought that was the Usher record.
That was so long ago.
That's my point. So that was like,
yeah.
that was so long ago with the video. When I saw it on the album, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was a City Girls record.
I just feel like with us, we've just been wanting this album to come out for so long, and a lot of these songs that been like that's on the album we wanted as single like 2 years ago. So kind of like we just was wanting these songs out, wanting this album out too. When it finally came out, it was just all over the place. So
yeah.
So who fault is that? The label? Y'all? Who
I
fault?
see much of y'all last week. This week I'm seeing a lot. And then we were excited because I think they said JT was supposed to host one day, then Kareisha was supposed to host another day, and then both of y'all hosting together.
oh, that would have been fire.
They said that was they said y'all ain't want to wake
They
up.
say y'all want to wake up in the morning.
I never want to wake up in the morning, but that ain't what I said.
Because I thought that would have been dope. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, almost
I
this
don't remember. I don't remember. No, I do remember what I said. I said that I do want to talk about the album, and I feel like hosting, I got to talk about other people. So that's what I said.
True.
So that's what I said. I personally said I want to host because I
I thought it was together, always together. I didn't know it was supposed to be one and then separate.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
I
wasn't on that call. That's why I was on it, but I wasn't on it.
But you know, stuff like that fuels the y'all don't get along rumors.
Yeah, it do. Like why we was even there separately, you know, like, but sometimes that's how people request things, or sometimes what she interested in, I'm not interested in. Like, we grown as fuck now. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, we done grew out the twin beds. Like, we out of the twin beds. So it's just like, that's what it is. It's not beef. Like, it's not that at all. But if y'all would have called one first and the other one first, oh my God, like, they would have been on there like, damn, want to sit in the same room together all the time.
So basically they're saying that there's miscommunication. And unfortunately, to me, that reeks of sabotage. It's always the case when it's a lot of the female artists, regardless of the genre, especially if it's more than one, there's always something behind the scenes that's set up where they end up getting sabotaged. Now, JT did say that, you do get out what you put in, and she said they could have done a better job of promoting the album. Young Miami, pointed out the fact that a lot of those songs were old. So they were sitting on a lot of those songs for a long time, and she wanted to just you could tell, like, they just wanted to get the album done and over with, all right? JT mentioned later on in the interview that they don't have any management. So they have no managers. So as far as promoting, they're doing this all on their own. Okay, so somebody will call one. There's no point of contact. Charlemagne pointed that out, saying that he wanted to reach out to JT to host something or to do something separate from what it is they're talking about here. And he said he has no way to get in contact with her. So think about it. These girls they've been in the industry for a long time. They have no manager. When they're booking these things, they have to speak to people directly. There's no one setting things up for them or, aligning projects and certain venues and certain opportunities for them. They're pretty much kind of out here on their own. And I can tell that JT at times, she can be like, I don't want to do that. And then she just doesn't do it, which that's not going to stop Young Miami from going out and doing what it is that she wants to do. The fact that they're not breaking up is good because they can still keep the brand intact and still do their solo things. I know a lot of people want them to break up, but it doesn't make any sense for them to break up business-wise, right? They should own the rights and the likeness to all things City Girls, and you could do your separate one too. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But getting back to the management thing, it dawned on me. I said to myself, how the heck do they not have any management? That explains a lot. Then I remembered that QC, the label, was sold. Was it last year or the year before that? So I said to myself, damn, the label didn't even make sure that they was set up all right prior to him selling the label. Like, it's just like every band for themselves. They're not managed by anyone. And I think as much as Q and P promoted the City Girls when they first came out and it seemed like everything was all good, I don't think that they had any faith in the City Girls beyond the first album, because their first album did considerably well, like over 200,000 units. And then gradually they started to fall off. And this project sold about 6,000 in the first week. That's a significant difference, right? So maybe they figured, all right, well, they'll be fly by night. We promote them heavy. They have the first album and then they'll fall off. And then, we'll sell the label eventually or whatever, and then we out. So it just screams of a man behind the scenes making all the profit off of their hard work and not investing in them properly because he sees nothing, or they see nothing beyond the first album. They looked at them as a gimmick. I don't think they expected them to blow up and have such a impact in hip hop, in pop culture, period, I should say, as they did. That's why I don't think that they should dissolve the brand, the City Girls. It doesn't make any sense. It's a strong brand. And you can have the strong brand and you can have them individually, doing their things individually. Anyway, so that was them addressing the low album sales. And JT, she went into talking about when she booked the campaign for Beats by Dre, that she was contacted directly. And the money that they paid her for the campaign, she used that money to, fly herself out overseas and do everything on her own. That has got to be stressful. That has got to be stressful, especially when they were used to being catered to. Because when they first came out, I'm pretty sure they had they had everything that they needed. Stylists, glam, promotion. They were booking shows. They were doing club everywhere. And to go from that and being kind of like dropped to figure it out on your own, that says a lot, and I bet you any money, no one is going to interview Q or P and ask them, why the City Girls, one of your biggest acts, why their album sales only 6,000 for the first week? Why don't they have any management? Anyway, so that was them addressing the low album sales. And you can tell that they did not want to talk about their label, because Charlamagne asked, whose fault is that? Is that the label or is it y'all fault? Young Miami said a little bit of both. And then they all started kind of like over talking one another. They ended up talking about, their relationships. JT talked about, Uzi. Young Miami, she talked about Diddy. I did notice that she had the love necklace on. She just said that Diddy is fun. It is what it is. They're having a good time. I don't know why everyone is obsessing over Diddy and Kareisha. It is what it is. If they're comfortable it being no title or whatever, we don't know what they talk about behind closed doors. Young Miami seems to be having a good time, girl. You do what you do. It is what it is. And then I think the lady host, I can't remember her name, she asked about, settling down. Young Miami said, yeah, one day she would like to settle down. And she says, if somebody's not talking about marriage, she's about to be 30, then yeah, she'll move on to someone who is interested in marriage. She says she wants to be married, which is interesting because I remember Young Miami saying that she doesn't want to be married. She never wanted to be married, but she says she's interested in settling down, which is completely different from what she said like even a year ago. But people change their mind. She wants a strong male figure around her kids, and she says she wants to show her children more stability. So that's great. They addressed if she likes golden showers. I didn't think she did. Young Miami is a troll on the low, and she really is like funny. Like everyone thought that, oh, you're over there letting Diddy pee on you and all this other stuff. She said it was great for marketing. She mentioned that it pushed sales for her game, her drinking game, Risha Roulette, through the roof. She said she made $1 million in about 2 weeks, 15 days or so. She said that her mom called her and told her, like, look, you taking it too far now. She said her mom was pissed about that. But she says she understands marketing. You got to do what you got to do to sell these products. And listen, I'm not mad at her. If she doesn't care, then neither do I. All right. JT was asked about the BET Awards incident. She stated that the incident where she threw her phone at Uzi and someone captured it on video and circulated all over social media. She said the reason why she was upset had nothing to do with Ice Spice. These are her words, not mine. And she said that the reason why she was upset was because of Uzi's friend Bari was sitting in a seat next to Uzi, and that is where she should have been sitting. So she said she was frustrated, irritated, and upset that Uzi did not make sure, as his girl, she should have made sure that she had somewhere to sit. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I'm calling BS. She said that she chose not to address the rumors because it's like, whatever, you're going to believe whatever you want to believe, and she just left it alone. BS. JT does not miss an opportunity to go off on people on social media, especially Twitter, if they say the slightest thing about her. And she reposts and goes off. She goes the F off. So you mean to tell me a rumor like this, where it was rumored that you were upset at Uzi because he was flirting with Ice Spice, you just let that go on? BS. Well, there's rumors circulating that the guy, Bari, Uzi's friend, is calling JT a liar. Listen, I don't know how true that is. You know, people get on social media and say anything. They said that the man allegedly said that Uzi didn't want to sit next to JT and he was flirting with Ice Spice. Listen, that's what social media said. We don't know if that's true. To be honest with you, it is what it is. When it comes to that Uzi, that man of hers, JT, she love her man, okay? That's her business. Now, DJ Envy did give them some good advice, though, about the importance of building relationships in the industry. Going back to them talking about not fully getting, good promotion or promoting the album. He said that, you could have called, you could have called up to the radio station, or if like we was cool and I knew you had an album coming out, I would have promoted the album, like just building relationships. And this is where I thought it was interesting, because in an article, Young Miami said that Usher wasn't originally supposed to be on that Good Love song. It was Chris Brown. And she said, for whatever reason, that didn't happen. Probably some mismanagement BS, right? And she said that she personally reached out to Usher to get him on the song. And I'm pretty sure that her relationship with Usher is that comfortable because of, her proximity to Diddy, her association to Diddy. So yes, I agree with DJ Envy about building relationships. Now, Charlamagne, he was very engaged. You know what I mean? Everybody was pretty much engaged. Like, it's obvious that he likes the City Girls. He's oftentimes said that. And this, to me, was one of their best interviews to date. That's just my strong opinions. I do think that the City Girls brand is huge and should not be dissolved. I've said that many, many, many times. I think they should keep the brand intact and just do their things, okay? JT, she seems to have an understanding that, people are wishy-washy, and I think that she should release her solo projects, but keep the City Girls brand, like I said, intact, and they should have 50-50 ownership of the name and everything associated with it. That's another thing, with QC being sold, who owns the name The City Girls? Does this album Raw, does this fulfill their contract? What the heck is going on over there at QC, right? Now, I said this before. Now, let's see if any of these podcasts, right, these male-dominated podcasts that Charlamagne feels is deserving of BET Awards, let's see if they'll have P on their show and ask him why the City Girls have no management and why didn't he ensure that his moneymakers were set up properly prior to selling the label and running off, because we ain't heard nothing from him. So overall, I think that this was a good interview. I think that Young Miami should continue with Kareisha Please. I think that she should put out episodes as often as she wants to, and not fall, don't succumb to the pressures of people telling you got to do it more often, because then it's going to get monotonous, it's going to get boring, you're going to get tired of seeing her. I'm a firm believer in quality over quantity. I think that she is good. I think she is doing what she needs to do, and let's keep it a bean. She gets more views than The Breakfast Club. She gets more views than Drink Champs. She's getting more views than $1 Million Worth of Game. And her podcast is specifically for her demographic, her fans. And I'm pretty sure she's attracting new people and stuff like that. And the people that she has on her show are people who her demographic, her age group, and older or younger, they want to see on her show. Her show is fun. It is. It's fun. And I think that she should continue. If she wants to put out 1 episode a week, 2 at 3 episodes a month, continue to do that. Quality over quantity. And I think that she just continue building her brand. She's doing a very good job of building her brand. She's taking good advantage, okay? Good advantage of her association with Diddy and all of the connects that Diddy has in the industry. She's not a slouch. She doesn't come across as a slouch to me. Now, as far as Miss JT, I do think that she has a love for the music. Maybe not necessarily the industry, which I can understand. I think that if she wants to put out projects, if it's not going to be a problem contractually, because again, we don't know what their situation is at QC. So I don't understand why anyone is laughing at the fact that they have low album sales, considering that they have no management. I don't know, whatever. People take every opportunity to try to clown somebody, whatever. And as far as JT wanting to do her solo projects, do it. Do it. I think she should stay the heck off of the internet and stop addressing people on the internet. Stop with the explaining yourself, and stop with you guys have been, both of them have been in the industry long enough to kind of rise above that. I get that every once in a while you want to check a B, but don't make that your entire existence. Like, majority of the interview, that's what they were talking about. One thing I wish that would have been asked, instead of so much social media crap, is how did the collaboration with Kim Petras come about? I wanted to know that. Like, maybe they'll be on more interviews promoting the album, but I don't think that they should be embarrassed or ashamed. I do think who should be called to the carpet is P. And what's going on with that record label? You sold the record label, so what's up? Why don't the City Girls have proper management? So I think that JT definitely should, look into probably hiring someone, or them collectively hiring someone to manage the City Girls brand. Like I said, it's a strong brand. JT, I think that she would do great doing solo projects. I don't think that she should let people get in her head and say, girl, go solo. You don't need Young Miami. No, you don't need Young Miami to make your own music, but don't separate yourself from the City Girls brand. You can still branch out and do your solo things, because these very same people that's egging you on to detach yourself from Young Miami will be the same ones talking about how whack your project is, and they won't support you. And if you fall flat on your face, they'll be laughing at you. So hopefully her urge to want to go solo is strictly because she wants to kind of spread her wings and see what she's capable of. And it's not out of, well, I'm going to show these people that I could do it on my own. You ain't got nothing to prove to nobody, girl. If you're in it for the love of the music, then do what it is that you love, the music, right? But overall, great interview. I wish them nothing but the best. I think that they'll do just fine, as long as they just focus on your goals, your goals together and your goals separately. I don't think that they should give into all the chitter chatter about people talking about them, about not getting along. If they're friends, authentic friendships have ups and downs where people get on your nerves. People get on people's nerves, all right? Sometimes we get on our own darn nerves. But the whole riding separately in cars, that is not indicative of them hating each other. I think that there are people who are misery loves company, and sometimes they think that things are too good to be true. So if somebody blinks wrong, they'll say, oh, see, she blinks. See, she blinked her left eye, and they're beefing. It's like, listen, they're grown women. JT understands, and I think Young Miami understands too, that they have separate lives. Young Miami's responsibilities are not that of JT. They both have two different lives. They're two individual people. Yes, they work well together. It really sucks that they don't have any management. I want somebody to interview Coach P and Q, whatever the heck their names are. Interview them and what is going on, why they don't have no management. You sold the record label and they make sure that they was good. Do they even still communicate? Remember Young Miami when she was at the Breakfast Club when JT was locked up? And that was her first time at the Breakfast Club. And she talked about how they take care of her so well. P and Q, she loved them. They like big brothers, uncles. They didn't mention them at all. What's really going on? Child, he done sold the label and ran off, girl. But listen, for them to have no management, they're doing all right. They're doing all right. So I want to see both of them win together individually. I'm not somebody who petitions for people to have discord. And I just feel like things can be worked out. You know, they've amassed a large amount of success and they did it together, especially when Young Miami was pregnant and she was out here by herself and holding up the City Girls name, you know, and doing her thing while JT was in jail. So they have a bond. And no, they may not always get along, but that doesn't mean that they should break up one or that they hate each other. You know, you just see everyone, people love pitting people against each other. And it's corny, in my opinion. It's really corny. These women are grown women now and they have separate goals. I'm pretty sure they support each other. They probably go periods without talking to each other. I'm sure they don't talk to each other every day. And that's fine. Like, why does it have to be beef? And the minute JT drops a solo project, watch. They're going to say, oh, Young Miami, you should drop a solo project. Why? Oh, she raps better. It's just going to be constant pitting them against each other. And I hope they don't fall for it. And just keep it cute. And whatever beef that they may have behind the scenes or, you know, little hiccups that they may have, little arguments, keep that behind the scenes. Because I'm telling you, some people love to tear down what they, one, don't have access to or what they can't have access to. They love to tear it down. So I thought this was a great interview. You can tell that Young Miami got more comfortable after she got what she had to say about Charlamagne off her chest. I could go into a lot more, but that's pretty much the long and short of it. You know, I've always liked the City Girls. I watched their come up, and granted, you know, when they first came out, their music, I get it. It's supposed to be a fun time, okay? It's not really my zhuzh per se. It's cute, you know, for what it's cute for. But as far as their journey to success, I've been watching them, and I like what I see. I want to see JT doing what she loves and not be pressured by social media into doing something just because Young Miami is doing something. As far as the Young Miami has a filming for a reality show on VH1. So the cameras were in the studio at the Breakfast Club. I think that's genius. She definitely should have a reality show. And I think it's great. It's just going to keep her name circulating. And I think there's no limit to what she can do. JT, she said that that's not her lane. She said that's not really what she want to do. Listen, whether or not JT is a hater or jealous, we don't know. We can only assume. But whatever it is that's JT's thing, I think that she should jump out there and do what she feels comfortable doing. Just do it, girl. Whatever it is that you want to do, music, you want to write for other rappers, just do it. And just block out all the noise from the naysayers, because they are going to try to pit y'all against each other. They actually are pitting you against each other, and they're going to try to tear y'all down. And somewhere off in the back, there's probably a man, probably Q or P, still making money off y'all name, even though y'all ain't got no management. So I just feel like y'all should do what's best for y'all and don't listen to the internet BS. The moment you start explaining yourself, you're never going to quit explaining. You're going to always feel the need to explain yourself. So focus on the brand collectively and individually. And I think they're going to be all right. I want... Tell $1 Million Worth of Game or tell Nori on Drink Champs. He want to interview Kodak Black. Tell him to get Q and P on Drink Champs now. I don't know if he did before. And let's talk about what happened to the record label. Let's talk about what happened to quality control and where does this leave the artist. But they won't do that. All right, y'all, this is a long video. If you made it to the end, I want to thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate the support. Drop down in the comments and share your thoughts. Did you get an opportunity to watch The Breakfast Club? The City Girls interview. It's over an hour. It's worth watching if you're interested in them at all. Let me know what you think. Do you care about the City Girls? Did you listen to the City Girls album? And Kareisha cleared up the fact that RAW is not an acronym for Real ASS Whores. She said that it was trending on social media, and she said that that's good marketing. RAW, she said, it's just raw. It's a slang term. You know, I thought that was absolutely funny. So Kareisha seems like she's getting it. She's understanding marketing, and she's understanding, you know, how to market herself a lot more. And I think JT is very, very smart as well. She does come across as defensive at times, but I guess she's had to be defensive because of how social media is and how people react to her. But like I said, I could get into more, but I'll leave it at that. You drop down in the comments and let me know what you think. I love you for watching, and I will talk to you later.